Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Question today is from a brother who says, I don't even really watch porn. It's just that I have this issue with fantasizing. Like I think about things. And it's not so common usually that men fantasize, mostly a woman thing, but it happens as well. So, see, fantasies don't just come out of thin air. It's from seeing something, things that linger into our hearts and our minds, and then we think about them. A lot of daydreaming. This is all from amal shaitan, from the behavior of shaitan. So you have to wake yourself up. If you're sitting there and daydreaming, fantasizing, do not allow yourself to go into that trance, into that mode. Stay away from it like you would stay from anything else that is not good for you, right? So your mind just starts daydreaming, or you start thinking. Sometimes you want to think, sometimes associated with masturbation. That's something that you cannot allow to start. Then when you allow it to start, it rolls, the ball just rolls the slippery slope, and you're stuck in that situation. So fantasizing, your brain, there was a study that showed that a fantasy is almost like a reality. The brain reacts to it as if it would react to a real situation that you are experiencing in real life. A lot of people think there's nothing wrong with just the thoughts. There's nothing wrong with just thinking about it. And I've addressed this before with a misunderstanding of the hadith that, Allah forgives the passing thoughts of my ummah as long as they don't act upon them or talk about it. So some people say, well, it's just the thoughts, then it's okay. Yeah, but the thoughts will lead us into problems. This we have to be as honest as possible. That those thoughts, when we think about it and we entertain it more and more and more, it affects our brain, it affects everything that is around. I addressed this issue with regards to LGBTQ, where people are saying that, well, if a person just has the desires, or it's okay as long as they don't act upon it, and if it's in their mind, or no, you don't allow it to be in your mind either. You have to fight it, fight your mind, fight your nafs, fight whatever you can. Don't, at least know where you're wrong. Don't try to call it something else. Don't try to slip out of it. Even if you're wrong, if you make a mistake, don't try to find excuses that, well, if I'm just thinking about it, it's okay. It's not okay. Even if you think about it, it's a sin, and don't think it's okay. Right? You should admit the mistake. If you can fix it, make sure you fix it. If you cannot fix it, at least don't call it something different or try to escape it by naming it something else or trying to justify it. Do not justify your sin. Whatever you do in the end, whether you're doing wrong, don't justify your sins. So, and again, for all my brothers and sisters, make ruqyah. One of the greatest advice that I'm going to keep giving on now more and more to people when they're suffering from things, make ruqyah. Be careful of yourself from the jinn and the shayateen and all that. Make ruqyah. Get married. I keep saying that one of the greatest medicine for these issues is for a person to experience reality. We live in a fantasy world. Pornography is a fantasy world. It is some form of a fantasy because it's not real. Even though your brain reacts to it as almost real. But again, you're living in a virtual world. Same with fantasies. And that's what happened in the 21st century. One of the greatest challenges that we live in a world that is not real. Like it's not actually happening. Yet we're still experiencing all those and accumulating all those sins. May Allah protect us.